How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got my Uncle Steve here.
Hi everybody.
And Steve has a Tesla Model 3, and I've never ridden in a Tesla. I've seen Teslas before, but never ridden in one. So today we're gonna go around and see what it's like. So let's get inside.
They're claiming the new technology they have ready to go is 1,000,000-mile batteries.
Holy moly.
Wow, it's so minimal. You're not kidding.
It's minimal. It is.
Yeah,
And the other cool thing about
sounds
Tesla is they're constantly adding features to the software. So it's like updating an iPhone. There's camera in the pillar here. One camera there looking forward. Camera here looking here.
Rear facing.
3 cameras up in the thing here. There's a low-powered radar for a little bit of help.
Quite a bit of trunk space too.
No, isn't that awesome? It's a lot of trunk space.
Yeah.
It's really deep.
Yeah. Little cubby over here.
You should definitely get out on the highway. You'll be able to feel the
Feel the power.
power of the Tesla.
Feel the torque. The instant torque.
Torque.
We are in the Model 3, right? That's what we're
absolutely.
in.
Model 3.
So this is the absolute base car, right, that they have? This is their base model? Or is there something?
No, this particular Model 3 is a long range. So base model would have a 200 and, close to 200 mile, slightly over 200 mile range. This has a 310 mile range.
Okay.
So it has a, it has a bigger battery pack.
Interesting. Well, it's really, you were not kidding when you said it was minimal in
It's
here.
very minimalist.
Very, just a wood trim and a screen and a steering wheel and your pedals.
2 stocks.
And 2
Some
stocks.
wheels.
Yeah. It's really clean though, I like it. And you've got the glass. The
Yeah.
glass roof is
All the way back.
crazy.
And it gives you that impression like it's a much taller, bigger car.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. You would not get claustrophobic in
No.
here.
Yeah, so to, it's all electric. So to energize it, step on the brake, pull up on the stalk, I'm in reverse.
Interesting. And it's completely silent, which is kind of scary. It's like you're...
I think around in certain places in the world and possibly coming soon to the US, various states would be laws to make it if you're like in a parking lot or at slow speeds to give it some sort of pedestrian friendly noise it makes. True to Elon Musk's personality, he's thinking about clacking coconuts from like Monty Python or...
I would have to buy one, I think, if it did that.
Now I drive it like it's a golf cart, so all I did was no acceleration anymore and it stopped itself.
Okay.
It uses the electric motors in essence in reverse to draw energy off the rotating axles, put the energy back in the batteries and slow it down. You kind of learn to feather your approach because I have it set to aggressive braking with the electric motor. So if I pull away and then let go.
Wow. It's so smooth. It's really like, so you came from a Focus, right?
I came from a 2007 Ford Focus manual transmission high mileage car to this.
Yeah, so this is quite the change. The sound is so weird.
Yeah,
It's like you're in a spaceship.
Kind of.
It's like it's almost like a supercharger whine, sort of, except
kind of.
really, really quiet. So what made you choose a Tesla?
That's a good question. I was sort of toying with going all electric or hybrid, and when this Model 3 was announced and they had the original or a goal price point of like $35,000, that piqued my interest. So I researched and knew some people that had Tesla Model S's, and they were talking about how their experience, they loved them, the driving experience, good snow vehicles. I'm from Minnesota, and they were talking about how well their cars do in the snow. I eventually settled on the Model 3 as the vehicle that I was after.
So what is if you want a Model 3, what's the starting price of the Model?
I think they have finally hit the $35,000 price point.
Okay. So it's a really competitive car, price-wise.
Yeah, right. You know, depending on what you add to it, I have dual motors, so an electric motor on each axle. That adds cost, of course.
Yeah.
I went with the fuller autopilot and full self-driving technologies, so it adds up. Like now I'll engage the autopilot, so now it's driving.
And this is where all the cameras and stuff come into play, right?
Correct. It's going to sense the cars ahead of me. Other cars do this, of course, but it's got some new features that are observing the stoplight that's up ahead.
I just noticed the screen. So like, it's weird. It has like ghost projections of other cars and they're accurate to where they actually are outside, which is really weird. And it's showing you like where it's sensing stuff from.
Right.
Like, it's showing you what cameras are.
It's got the hypersonic, and it's got the hypersonic sensors like other cars too. You'll see pedestrians, you'll see bikers.
That's so crazy.
So if I go into autopilot, it'll lock me back to the speed limit. I'm in kilometers per hour. So yeah, I'm hands off.
Hands-free.
But it gets, right now they don't let you go for too long without
at least touching the wheel, making sure you're awake.
That's right. I know I've read about people that have rigged like weights or something on the steering wheel, so it sort of tricks the software into thinking.
Yeah, when we were in LA a little while ago, we would pass somebody in a Tesla and he was asleep. Yeah, he was knocked out. It's luxury. It's very technologically advanced.
Right.
It seems very simple once you get used to it. And I mean, it's got instant torque, so that's appealing to enthusiasts as well.
Now in autopilot on a freeway situation, I can speed.
So you can control.
Yeah, this thumb wheel.
Yeah.
So now it's suggesting I make a lane change. I gave a little tug on the steering wheel. And there we go.
That's cool.
So I can also tell it to change lanes. So it's looking, it knows there's no traffic, so it can do the lane change.
So if you hit the turn signal, it will do it?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was wondering.
Yep, you have to engage it all the way.
And then it'll check, and then it'll do it itself. That's pretty cool.
So then if in a moment here, when I buy the truck, I'll signal a right lane change, and it'll show it as red that it can't do it.
Yeah.
Until we clear. And then I think it'll match speed
then it'll do it.
and come in.
Did you have any other cars you were thinking about when you...
There was a brief moment when I thought about a Chevy Volt.
Oh, yeah.
And test drove a few of those, or one of those, and felt cramped, didn't like it at all. And then I passed, and eventually, I'm trying to think how long it was after that, but I settled on getting on the wait list for the Model 3.
And what year is this car?
We picked it up, so we got it in September of 2018.
Okay.
So basically, the first model year. I think I went on the wait list in March of 2017. Bought it sight unseen.
Yeah. Because that's how you would do it, right?
Right.
I mean, you
there
would
were
order
nothing.
it.
There was nothing to test drive. There was no dealer to go touch one. Off the internet. So so we're cruising at 123 kilometers an hour.
God, it takes off.
Still has room. Still has room.
And it definitely alerts you when
Yes.
it's not going to be able to auto steer anymore.
That's right.
Jeez. So it's got crazy torque from anywhere.
Right. Especially in freeway conditions, I feel safer. I think I can get around and get past any kind of congestion or trouble.
Yeah. There's no rev range to worry about, so. And the alerts, it's like a missile. It sounds like a guided missile system.
And because of what I did, I can't go back into autopilot for this trip till we park the car and start over.
Before I ever rode in a Tesla, I really didn't like the autopilot idea.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't know that I would, if I had one, I feel like I would just drive the crap out of it
Sure.
like an enthusiast. But being in one, it seems way smarter than I thought it would probably be.
Well, and for me, the one thing I tell people is, for instance, we have about a hour and 20-minute drive up to Minneapolis, St. Paul, go to a concert, do something, come home at night.
Yeah.
I think I feel safer. I feel more alert because I'm not doing the mundane things
Yeah.
on that late night drive home, and I can be on the watch for deer milling about or whatever trouble.
Yeah. You're the insurance
Yeah.
on a drive home at night.
Yeah. Would it be nicer to fall asleep and let it take me home to my garage? Well, sure, that might be okay too,
But the world isn't comfortable with that
but
yet.
nah, not yet.
This is the first car I've been in a long time where it's like a much different experience than anything else.
I think so, and I said this a couple times during this trip. I was up in the Twin Cities for something I needed done to the car, so I went to a Tesla place. They gave me their big sedan as a loaner car, a Model S, and my Model 3 made the S look dated. I thought.
With this, they've really integrated the screen,
Yeah.
and that had a lot more buttons and dials,
Right.
right? The only Tesla I've really looked in the inside of is like a P120
Okay.
or whatever that is.
Yeah, that's
And
an S.
Yeah, and that was dials, and it looked very much like a standard car.
Right.
It had
Right.
normal controls that you would be used to. It doesn't have anything. It has a wheel and a screen,
Right.
which is so futuristic.
My wife, your Aunt Loretta, wouldn't drive this car for 3 weeks. She just didn't want anything to do with it.
Did Loretta ever warm up to the car?
Oh yeah, she loves it.
I didn't think I would really be as interested as I am in the car. I've always thought they were kind of cool,
Yeah.
but like, you really have to ride in one to get the full experience. If you want to feel like you're in a spaceship, a Tesla might be the car for you. Does it eat tires?
Maybe. Especially the way I drive.
Yeah.
I'll be coming up on 2-year-old from the manufacturer tires, essentially, so they're not maybe the best.
Yeah. So this is, again, me not knowing anything about Tesla. Is it an all-wheel drive system? Does it send power to all the wheels, or?
Yes, it in this particular model it is, because I have an electric motor front and back.
Front and back.
Computer controlled, right? Figuring out best for traction control. With the battery weight from whatever from here to the back.
Yeah.
Wide, it's low, it's center weighted. I live in Minnesota. Best snow car I've ever had. Other than it's a sedan, small sedan, so it's low.
Yeah.
So really heavy snow maybe could bog it down.
Has the infrastructure gotten to a point where it's not really a pain to drive these? Do you finding fuel or charging stations
I think
hard?
so. I drove, an 8-hour drive, whatever it was, from Rochester, Minnesota to Topeka here, and the car highlighted the 2 places I should pull off for my supercharging. They were, each was a 30-minute charge. For me, it was plug it in, get it charging, bathroom, go for a little walk, maybe grab a bite to eat. So it was a welcome break from the drive.
It's very doable.
Very doable. I've been on several long trips. I'm gonna go onto the map here and hit this button. Every little, if it's easy to see, every little red pinpoint are locations of Tesla superchargers.
So yeah, I mean,
Definitely along interstate highway corridors.
and the car is helping you find them. So like,
Yeah.
you don't have to know.
Plus you can charge it at other technology, other providers' charge stations.
Yeah.
So, and I charge it in my garage at home.
And you said that takes like 5-ish hours from empty?
If it was completely empty all the way to 310-mile range, that's 5.5 hours. Yeah, and for typical day-to-day driving, maybe half an hour to an hour.
So does the unlimited torque get you in trouble on a gravel road?
I haven't been on gravel much, so I'll just say I don't know. I'm sure it could.
I don't want to risk it.
In the Model 3 Performance Edition, I believe they've added for the software a setting so you can drift.
That'd be cool to see a Tesla drift car.
I've had 2 things that I've had to do. Well, I guess I've had the tires rotated at Costco. I've put windshield wiper fluid in it. And that's all I've done to the car. They actually swapped the Autopilot computer out. And that I did up in the Twin Cities. And it was a drive up, and the car was in the shop for 2 hours maybe.
Yeah.
Simpler stuff, they'll come out. They have remote service vans now, and they would send somebody to my house if I needed.
Well, that's cool. So that's another thing that makes me warm up to them a little bit more. Because, like I was saying, I think back when they were starting to really get traction, it was still kind of a hassle to service them.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure I could throw some gravel here.
Might as well try it, right? If you're in a straight line. Oh yeah, it'll throw some gravel.
We should get out here after this car and do. There's a hill, but let's do 0 to 60
Okay.
in metric. That'd be 0 to 96.
So cool. It's almost, I don't know, deceiving how fast it is because it's silent.
Oh, okay.
All you get is like tire noise, which is really weird.
It flies by.
Yeah. Like like, oh, it's a Tesla creeping along. Oh, they're hauling.
Okay, it still thinks I'm in a current drive. I wanna be an autopilot on the way back. I'm gonna cancel that trip. I'm gonna put it in park. I'm gonna turn that on. I'm gonna watch the traffic from behind. I'm gonna step out. I'll step back in. I don't remember what I've done in the past.
To cheat it.
So let's see what it does here. I mean, engage basically cruise control. 2 taps and I'm in autopilot. And I'm gonna go hands off, and it's supposed to get onto the interstate here. Come on, there we go. Well, that's all. It's way better than that usually. Now it should know that's a slower moving vehicle. Sees the cones.
Sees all the cones. That's cool.
It's got these views you can pan around a little bit and see the cars that it's not showing you sometimes. A little tug on the steering wheel.
It's a lot more symbiotic than
I believe it's that way because the actual goal is full self-driving.
Yeah.
I think at the moment they want humans making the final decision on things. And I don't know what current legislation or state laws allow.
Yeah. I got a manual partially because I want to feel like I'm driving the car, I'm working with the car to get me where I'm going. And the idea of it is the exact opposite of that. The car is getting you there and you're just riding in it. But if you're actually in the car, you're watching the same thing happening just in a different way. You're still working with the car to get where you're going. It's just a much different process. It's a much more technologically advanced process. And it's still very interesting to see the human and the car interact. It's not the anti-car that I thought it was, maybe.
Although on that topic, there is a camera right here for the future.
Yeah.
Long range plan. You'd drive your car, park it in the garage, and at night it could go out on its own and be a remote Uber.
Yeah.
Garage door goes up, your car leaves, goes off and earns your money and comes back. So we've reduced, the speed limit's now lower. I can touch the speed limit icon.
Oh, it'll set it.
It sets it to, I have it set on these kind of roads to go two over the speed limit.
Yeah.
So it knows we're coming up to the exit, so it's time to make a lane change. So I'm gonna go hands off. Not gonna do it. Oh, there we go.
And that's like the maximum autonomous mode.
I think so, yeah. Here I'm going less than the speed limit it looks, so I can touch it and it'll go up. So there's the Topeka supercharger, just over here.
Yeah. In the Arby's parking lot.
In the RV's parking lot. So red lights.
Wow, that's great. It even has the lights. It's not even limited to things that are on the road.
Right. It won't make the left turn. So here's the case where it knows there's a traffic control coming up, and it knows it's red. Nobody's in front of me. And it stopped on its own.
Wow.
And I just need to pull this or touch the accelerator when it's green. It won't do it on its own.
we are back.
There we are. So, touch the car icon. Fold the mirrors. Driving options. Do you want to accelerate in a calm way or a standard way?
Chill or standard.
Do you want to use standard regenerative braking? So that's the aggressive braking.
Mm-hmm.
I have it stop mode hold, so if it rolls up to a stop, it basically engages the physical brakes. Various things like that.
It's cool. There's a lot of... How often does it update software?
Comes and goes. I mean, like any software. Well, actually, this software came on a few weeks ago and hasn't had any little bug fixes or anything after that. So every couple months, maybe. Open the glove box.
What?
There's little storage areas.
That's actually pretty big.
Open the trunk. Open the front trunk. Adapter to use other charge stations.
This is the button to open the door.
My travel charger if I had a need.
That's pretty cool.
You can do 220, 110 if you have time to charge. And the front trunk. The frunk.
The frunk. That is a big advantage of battery powered is you've got a frunk and a trunk.
That's right. My Tesla app, that's my key. And that's my key.
Tesla card. The Tesla black card. Well, there it is. Well, thank you, Steve.
My pleasure. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. I think as an audience of people who's made up of automotive enthusiasts who are probably scared or offended by the Tesla and other autonomous sort of vehicles, I don't think it's as bad as we make it out to be. So I guess I'll leave you with that. Autonomous driving can be fun too. We'll see you in the next one. As always, enjoy the road.